So we're going to look at one last proof together. If you want to go ahead and pause it now and try this on your own, then I will gladly tell you to go ahead and push that pause button because we need all the practice we can get, and I think it will be awesome if you could figure it out on your own. If you're not ready to do it by yourself, it's okay. We're going to do it now. So let's get started. So again, they gave us some information. So off to the side, I'm going to write the information. So we have a given. Remember, that's our hypothesis. So if angle FGJ is congruent to angle JGK and angle JGK is congruent to angle KGH, then, so that means that we need to prove that X is equal to 6. So we're going to write a 2-column proof. So let me get that set up. That's a white line, and we definitely need a black line. Oops. Keep forgetting that from one line to the next, you gotta click line again. Okay, so we're gonna have our statements over here and our reasons over here. I almost started singing the song Reasons, but it was gonna sound so horrible, so I'm so glad that I didn't. Okay, anyways, so let's start with what we're given. So it says that angle FGJ is congruent to angle JGK, and that is given. They also tell us that angle JGK is congruent to angle KGH. Okay, and you can write the word given again, or you can just draw a line to show that both of those pieces of information are given. So here I have my given information at the top. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually mark this information on my picture so that I can see it every time I look at my picture. So it says angle FGJ is congruent to angle JGK. So I marked that with the red. Okay. The next thing it says is that angle JGK, so JGK, which I'm marking with purple now, is congruent to angle KGH. So that's going to be that angle. So when I look at that, I want to use transitive property, because transitive property says that if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C, but we have a problem. It's the transitive property of equality, right? Because it says if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. But do we have equality here? No, we don't. So our next step is going to actually have to be to change it up so that we have some things that are equal. So I'm going to have to say that the measure of angle FGJ is equal to the measure of angle JGK. And I'm also going to say that the measure of angle JGK is equal to the measure of angle KGH. These letters are crazy. But those statements come from the definition of congruent, because I know that if two things are congruent, then their two angles are congruent, then their measures are equal. And you can also, again, put them on the same line because they have the same reason. I'm fine with that. But if you want to split it up, then you can do that as well. Doesn't matter. So now that I know that their measures are equal, now I can use this transitive property over there. So if the measure of angle FGH is congruent to the measure of angle JGK, and then JGK is congruent to the measure of KGH, then my statement that I can make is that the measure of angle FGJ is equal to the measure of angle the measure of angle KGH. And that is going to be from the transitive property. Now, the next quote issue, even though it's not an issue, that we run into is that on our graph or on our diagram, there is some information. Any information that is already on the diagram, we can say that information is given because it is on the picture. So they are giving it to us in the form of the picture. So my next line is going to be that the measure of angle FGJ is equal to 6x plus 7, and that the measure of angle KGH is equal to 8x minus 5, and I'm going to say given, and in the parentheses, I'm going to write diagram. Or you can write image or drawing or whatever, just so we know, hey, this is where it came from. Okay, so I made my line a little bit longer. So now, my next step, I have some values here. My next step is I'm going to say that 6x plus 7 is equal to 8x minus 5, and that I'm using the substitution property. And I can use this substitution property because I am substituting 6x plus 7, this 6x plus 7 in place of the FGJ that's here. And I'm substituting this 8x minus 5 in place of this KGH that is here. Okay, so now I need to solve my equation. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 6x from both sides. And that's going to be the subtraction property that allows me to do that. And I'm going to end up with 7 is equal to 2x minus 5. And that's going to be substitution. I sometimes can't spell it. Substitution property because I have substituted equal values. I am then going to add 5 to both sides. So that's going to be the addition property. And then I'm going to have that 12 is equal to 2x. That again is going to be the substitution property. I'm going to next divide both sides by 2. The division one is always kind of difficult to write unless you're going to just rewrite the whole thing. And so then that's going to be the division property. And then lastly, or not lastly, almost lastly, but now I'm going to have 6 is equal to x, right? That's going to be my substitution property because I'm substituting equal values. And then my last step is going to say that x is equal to 6, and that's going to be the, that looks so horrible. That's going to be the symmetric property. And it looks like just what I was asked to prove. So I can make my box to say that I'm done. So this one took a few more steps because we had to figure out how we were going to go from congruent angles to angles whose measures are equal. And so we had to use the definition. So like I said, sometimes these don't always come naturally, and that's okay. We are going to continue to practice and practice and practice. And in each unit, as we gain more information, we learn more postulates and theorems, then we will be able to do more proofs. And again, they will become more natural. So at this time, then I have left an assignment for you in Google Classroom. You're going to go ahead and work on that assignment. Please feel free to post in Google Classroom under on the quote wall or in the thread, or send me an email if you have any questions. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Bye.